Okay, now, here we go. That is Zilmi. That's probably... I can think of 3 times, but there may be more. I think I've done it at least 3 times. All right. Let me get locked in here. Let me refocus. There's an air dribble from Tempo, so he'll open the scoring. We have a best of 5. Taylan versus Tempo. And these guys, I think, are both going to be competing in the 1v1 Champions Road this coming weekend. Getting a little work in as a warm-up. Both are sitting in the top 100 at the moment. Taylan's like top 30-ish. And Tempo, I think, top 60, 70, somewhere in there. You see a flip reset from Taylan. And these guys actually have faced off once in the past. Tempo got the better of him in Game 5, and it was a reverse sweep last time. I'm going to be closing the predictions now. We're a minute into Game 1, and Taylan, big dunk there in the back corner. Gets him his second goal. Narrow angle for Tempo to work with, but it's not a problem. Puts in his second. Third goal for Tempo. There's a couple plays now where both of these guys have extended a little too far into the other side or just stepped a little bit out of position. And of course, that's all it takes at this level. These guys can score with the smallest of openings. You say these guys are playing in the EU Champions Road? I think they are. I can ask them. I think they are, though. Tempo just running a few extra seconds off the clock. Taylan on low boost, but he does still have decent position. Tempo holds strong on the goal line. Creative flick towards the other side, blocked away, but he does retain the boost advantage. Taylan looking to close the gap on defense. Demoed and Tempo will be scoring a 5th. Backflip from Tempo, but he quickly recovers. Able to make one save. Does have his boost stolen. A power shot to the far side. He just goes straight for the play. Straight for the shot. Taylan too wide of a path back. He was prioritizing stealing all the boost, anticipating Tempo, lofting one towards the target and stealing the corner boost away. Tempo goes straight for the shot. Another direct shot after kickoff gives him a 7th. Taylan calls next. So we'll just run the clock down real quick. 7-2 for Tempo in game 1. Nice 50 on the goal line for Tempo. He'll walk in his first of game 2. Tempo has, he told me that, he told me he has not been playing as much ones. He's been focused pretty hard on he played in the recent 2v2 as well. I think he finished top 2. I don't quote me on that. That could be wrong, but I think he did well. He was dedicating his efforts to that 2v2, but now that it's concluded and the remaining tournament is the ones, of course, now he's getting back into it, but you know, frankly, wasn't super confident. That's a nice flick from Taylan just over the top of the challenge. But I was saying that just because Tempo looks very confident. Making great decisions, keeping his opponent in tough positions. Tempo's done such a good job defensively reading the aerial game plan for Taylan. The recovery, Taylan able to keep that shot out. Oh, misses the touch and the boost. Fortunately for Taylan. Well, it doesn't matter anyways. I was going to say Tempo was respectful of the touch, so he had backed off, but Taylan just couldn't regain. Couldn't figure out the position. A unique flick again there from Tempo to the top shelf, but Taylan, of course, makes the save, and a very narrow angle shot once again. Tempo from the corner, and this is kind of what I'm saying. Like, when he is presented an opportunity, he's done such a good job of capitalizing every time. Taylan's got plenty of time. He'll easily send that flick to the corner. The Tempo right back into attack. Delayed shot puts it behind Taylan, who's just had a tough time. I think, one, keeping up with the pace that Tempo's able to play at, and two, you know, Tempo's doing such a good job defensively of reading what Taylan's plan is, where the other way, like here is another example, I think Tempo has just been a little bit more difficult to read. He's off the ceiling, and he tucks that back behind the challenge. There's a boost miss from Tempo. He's going to get this corner. It will cost him dearly. Taylan nails a demo there in the corner, gets a freebie. So he's not out of it just yet. Still got plenty of time, actually. 144 to play. Gonna need a couple of good possessions here quick. Look at the pogo, man. It's just, you know, someone said it earlier when they popped in. They said they like watching Tempo play. His style is quirky. You know, and it sounds funny, but it is different. It is unique. It's something that you don't see players that play Fennec and Octane. You know, they just approach things a little bit different. However, there's a nice flip reset from Taylan to the top shelf. He's cut the deficit to 3. Should have this possession with boost. Tempo does not want to back off. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think Taylan was setting up for flip reset flick, and unfortunately just didn't get the reset. Another next call, and that's not good. That's not what you want to see there if you are a Taylan believer. It's just a kickoff. I mean, it's nothing special. It's just a standard kickoff, and Tempo is just gaining the advantage. There's a response though. You know, it's not really a mix-up thing. It's not a fake kickoff where he's gaining possession, or you know, something tricky, a delayed kickoff or such. It's just the standard kickoff, but Tempo's been, as I said earlier, more consistent with it. And see, it's simple stuff like this, just collecting on the wall and absolutely claying it on target. And Taylan's just a bit too close. Unable to get back in time. Some heavy scoring, or some early scoring, I should say, here in this third game. Tempo may be conceding here. Actually, might turn it into an opportunity. Wow. And he's going to make Taylan get back as well. Taylan was trying to sneak back. Hey, I respect that. It's a show match. Hey, Tempo is using any and every strategy he can, not only to, you know, gain the advantage in game, but also mentally as well. Currently just suffocating pressure from Tempo. He refuses to back away, refuses to slow down. Oh, now we're chirping. I can do whatever I want, he says. Oh, that is savage. That is savage. Wow. We're going to skip that. We're going to skip that. Don't want to watch that one. Taylan up high. And just a fantastic read from Tempo. Good recovery from Taylan, so he'll survive. He'll also gain himself a possession. And really an unforced, super risky play here. Tempo was still respawning. And Taylan jumped off his own backboard there for the full field aerial play. And I just got to say, the body language looking frustrated. Strong defense from Tempo. Going to retain possession after the save as well. And he just rips a shot from the middle of the field. 6-1 for Tempo. Unless we see an immediate and drastic change from Taylan, this one is almost certainly going to be a sweep. It's well done. Taylan avoids being bumped, flicks over the top, gets his second goal. And the reality is, obviously, the first two games are frustrating. And the beginning of this one has been very much in favor of Tempo, but this is, I mean, he's only down 4 goals. This is certainly within reach. And this series, I mean, it's one game at a time. If Taylan can get this win, he'll be fine. GG's! The flip reset, musty flick. And today was just Tempo's day. I mean, I saw Fear. You know, he typically asks people, and we saw Fear in the chat today, so we'll see if we can get Fear or Pogo. Whoa! Looking for the double Pogo? Zilmi, thank you for the gifted sub, man. Taylan, thank you for playing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sorry the match didn't go so well. But don't sweat it. Sometimes it happens. No big deal. There you go. There's one for the road right there. The Dominus. Looks like a great car for Pogos. GG's to both Tempo and Taylan.